Happy Friday, y'all. It's Champion Review time. And today we got Scion and Sivir.
Yes, we do. And Scion had a pretty massive change, so we'll have a lot to talk about.
I had no idea Sivir's title was the Battle Mistress.
That's what it is. I thought it was the Bounty Hunter.
No, it's not Paul. Inside joke.
Right,
no.
right.
Oh,
no,
God.
Paul's the Bounty Hunter. You got to get it right. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Scion and Sivir, yeah. That's a weird, a weird title. Guys, but before we get into that, we got our first voice submission. So let's take a listen to it and see what Gungnir has to say.
What's up, guys? It's Gungnir. I was thinking you guys should do a LCS pick and ban draft with the original 23 champions since you guys are doing the review. Thanks for the podcast, guys. Catch you later.
All right, so first of all, I want to say that's a fucking great idea.
I like it.
23 champions, pick and ban as if, we're coaches.
Right. You got to build a composition out of those 23 champions.
It's a lot. It sounds a little bit more difficult, right? Because you got to condense
you're
23 to 5 on each team.
Yeah.
You got to ban out 5 each.
I think it was only 3 bans originally.
Do you want to do that?
I would just do 3 bans. I mean, otherwise
3?
You're killing this 20 champions, right? You're banning 5, picking 5 per side.
That's 20 gone.
Yeah. No, I would just ban
fair.
3 champions. It's a 6 total champions ban.
So I'm down to we'll do that. We'll do that next episode.
Yeah, we'll throw it at the I need time to come up with an answer.
Right. Yeah, it'll be on next week, one of next week's episodes for sure.
Absolutely. So, Gungnir,
appreciate it.
Sir.
That was awesome. Guys, submit them. We like that was a fun one. Waiting for that. That was fun. I like it. I love it.
Yeah.
And then also before we talk about Scion and Sivir, we want to go over our poll, which was, do you think Rise will have another rework of any kind in the future? Tyler, what are the results?
Oh, that's 100%. Yes, sir.
You damn
Without
right.
a shadow of a fucking doubt.
They're going to give that guy wings. He's going to start flying around the map. It's inevitable.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. That's, yeah, I don't even have much else to say on that. We all know he's getting another rework at some point because the champion's fucking busted.
All right. So now let's do it. Let's start with Scion here, okay?
Yep.
And first thing I want to say is I really don't remember old Scion. I know what he looked like. I don't think I ever played him because he got reworked the first year we were playing.
Oh, do you remember what he sounded like?
No.
It was a really bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impression. It was like the worst I've ever heard.
Like
I'm playing
it's
it right
like
now.
Yeah.
Stop being a bonehead. What the fuck?
It's really bad. Like I just did a really terrible one, and I don't think I could do it as bad.
Let me play this for everybody.
What is best in death? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of noobs.
Holy shit. To be fair, he still has a little bit of that Arnold Schwarzenegger, like, he'll say, like, your puny body.
Right. He's got some of, like, the Arnoldisms, but, like, they didn't do the voice, which I'm
He had a quote that said, "Get on my chopper."
Yes. Also, who is your summoner and what does he do?
Wow, see, I really don't remember this.
Who is your summoner and what does he do?
It's really bad. It's really bad.
Shit.
They left out like the deep grovelly part of the Schwarzenegger voice. I can't even do it right now because I'm now actively thinking about the way its Scion was. I can't even fucking get back to the right Arnold impression. So someone go watch I think it's Joel Godet or whatever on TikTok. He does great Arnold impressions. They could have just hired him and had a really good impression.
Okay, the other thing I do remember is old Scion was like an AP fucking juggernaut. Like, if you built AP Scion, it was disgusting.
Old Scion was everything.
I'm just looking at his old stuff, and it's...
Right. So he's an undead champion, and Scion's whole thing is that he's built from different parts, He's like a Frankenstein. And so they kept that in his kit, but, like, he does a little bit of everything. It's really not cohesive at all.
Oh, I'm just looking at his AP scalings on his old abilities, and they're 90%. What?
Jeez.
All right, so let's do it. Let's do passive and compare. So let's see. Old Scion. Scion has a 40% chance to take up to 30, 40, 50 based on level, reduce damage from attacks.
Wow, it's one of those really simple passives. Wouldn't you know it?
It's like the dodge thing, like 40% chance to take less damage.
Yeah, that's weird.
That's some fucking...
It's really weird.
I don't really like RNG that much in games, and that could piss somebody off. Like, oh my god.
The only RNG that should exist really is crit. But I'm looking at his little icon too. It's called Feel No Pain, and his little icon actually looks like Urgot, like old Urgot.
Yeah. Fucking...
Yeah.
And let's look at his current...
His current passive is got a lot going on there. It's called Glory and Death. And when he dies, he goes into stasis for a second and a half, where he reanimates. And he hits 100% of his max health, but he loses 2 to 19 based on level every... It's a little bit more than a quarter second, but we're not going to go through all that bullshit because it's stupid. Increasing by 70% of the base value per subsequent tick. I had no idea that's how it works. So as it gets lower, it starts decreasing faster. Is basically what they're telling you. It's not logarithmic. It's exponential in the way he loses health. He moves. He can basic attack, and he can use items, but no summoners. And he can empower himself with the following effects: extra attack speed, 100% lifesteal, bonus physical damage on hit to 10% of the target's max health, capped at 75 against non-champs.
See, I didn't know it did that.
I didn't know that either.
Okay.
He ghosts. I did know that. And one cast of Death Surge will replace all of his abilities. Additionally, Sion's health regen and any healing except lifesteal he receives during this time is 0% plus Spirit Visage effective.
Which is
Why would you even
25%.
put that? But that's 0. Well, I guess it's 25. I don't know. That's dumb. And so Death Surge is the second part of the passive, and it's just hitting any of the ability keys.
You get movement speed.
Yeah. Yep. 67% move speed that decays. So
obviously, very big difference. And
much more interesting. Far more interesting.
This passive is like it doesn't make you feel bad for dying a lot of the time, because you can just get back up and finish your minion wave.
Yeah.
Or if you watch the Baus, the Scion God, like, takes phase rush, and he usually goes what's the lethality item that lets you
Prowler's
like
Claw.
jump? Like, the
It's
fact
broken.
that you can use that active when you're dead is...
Oh, here's something I'm looking at here. It says so his attack speed is fixed, so it's always going to be 1.75, and it cannot be reduced by cripples. So no Frozen Heart, no exhaust. You can't stop his attack speed.
That would be kind of bullshit.
Right, but it's
That'd
only
be unfair
doing
for
that
him.
little part. Yeah, exactly. Let's see here. Hail of Blades will break the limit, but he can't fall below it. But Lethal Tempo does not break the limit. That's interesting.
If you're taking either of those on him, I'm questioning you.
Right. But it's just an interesting thing. I can see the Baus doing it, hitting the Prowler's Claw, hitting the auto attack or whatever, because then you just have to press a skill, and then all of a sudden you have a massive amount of attack speed for 4 hits. But there's not much else to say on that. There's a lot of shit, but there's not a whole lot to really say about it. Everything works as it normally would. So,
Right, let's move to his old Q.
Death's Caress. What a name.
Wait, Cryptic Gaze?
Oh, sorry. Cryptic
Yeah,
Gaze. I'm sorry. I went too far down. You're right. Cryptic Gaze.
Scion's Gaze terrifies the target enemy, dealing magic damage and stunning them for 1.5 seconds. Okay,
Point and click, friends.
like a It's not a Terrify, but it just reminds me of Fiddlesticks Q.
Right.
Interesting.
Point
okay, and that did a
and it's a stun. It's not a root. It's a stun.
90% AP scaling
With a 300 base magic damage.
at
And an 8-second cooldown at max level. It did have a missile speed, so that is something to note. It's not an instant. It does have a missile speed of 1600. And it did cost 100 mana, so that was actually expensive to use.
How do we feel like? Is that just another like generic?
Yes.
Just point and click, like
yes.
You're stunned.
Yep.
Thank God, Riot. And then let's again. The theme is gonna be one sentence of old abilities, and then you look at his new stuff, and it's four fucking paragraphs.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of his new abilities are very straightforward.
They are.
There's a lot of words, but yeah,
it's because of the interactions that happen. Because like a lot of them are like charge based abilities, right? So you got to charge the Q. The shield has I guess like a timer on it, you know. But yeah, his new Q, Decimating Smash. I think we all kind of know what that does. That's the axe into the ground that pops people up. Obviously, the longer you hold it, the more damage it does, and the longer the knock-up and the longer the stun. If I am
and the range. Remember, the range increases.
Oh yeah, that's right. The range does increase.
So that's important too. So I mean, you hit. I didn't realize. Okay, so it does, which has up to a maximum bonus for the base damage and up to 200% bonus for the scaling damage. So that charged up Q hits like a fucking freight train. Even if you don't have any items, dude. If you're hitting someone, just imagine if you're full AD.
The bush Scion where you can't see the indicator and then all of a sudden you're popped up and you're like, what the fuck just happened? And then you're dead.
Love it.
Yeah, that was the old ARAM tactic. Very similar to the Nunu ulti, right? If the charge is interrupted, Decimating Smash is put on a 2-second cooldown, so that's something to note. You can interrupt it, but you're not really. I mean, yeah, you're stopping the damage, but it's only a 2-second cooldown, so you can just drop it right on you again. Even if it's just for the slow.
Worth to mention, the hitbox on this ability is insane.
Yes.
You can be standing outside that little, like the square or the rectangle that's being filled out. You're still going to get hit if you think you're not in it. It's kind of dumb.
Right. And the other thing to note, and I don't see it. Oh, I do see it in here. If you just instantly recast or you just tap it pretty much, you don't pop everybody up, but you do hit a slow for 50% for a quarter of a second. So that is also something to note. It does have usefulness outside of the full charge and the full damage. Just the tap damage could help you out in a pinch.
Yeah, you just have to at least charge it for 1 second if you want that knock-up.
Yes. Anything less than that, you're not going to knock up.
Right, pretty straightforward. Take that.
Yep.
Let's move on to his old W, Death's Caress.
Who's your summoner and what does he do is what I want to know.
Oh my god. What is this? It seems like this is the same thing. It's a shield.
Pretty much. The difference, and it may have been changed at some point. It may not be in here. I feel like he used to scale health off the shield as well, but I could be wrong. Oh no, that was on his E. Okay. So yeah, this is just, you get a shield that is also an AP scaling with a 90% ratio, 100 to 300 on the base. So you could have a massive fucking shield, and you could detonate it for the same damage as what the shield gives you.
Very similar to his current Q, or W, excuse me.
It lasts for 4 seconds, and you can detonate early if you want to. Otherwise, it will auto-detonate after 4 seconds. Soul Furnace, slightly different, but what they did is, and I know we haven't got to the E, but maybe we should do the E on old.
Yeah, I see that, yep.
Enrage, which was a toggle, gave Scion bonus attack damage at the expense of using health to attack. So every attack you would use health out of your health pool to get bonus AD, which was 25 to 65 bonus AD. While Enrage is active, Scion permanently gains bonus health whenever he kills a unit, doubled against large ones and enemy champion takedowns. So last hitting, you would generally have this on. If you were just roaming through the jungle, you might not have it on ready to go. It doesn't cost anything to just have. It only costs when you attack. So if we look at his current W Soul Furnace, you will see a variation of that health scaling mechanic as the passive. As Scion gains 4 bonus health whenever he kills an enemy, increased to 15 for large enemies and takedowns against enemy champions.
And you stack that shit fast, dude.
You
like
do.
You can get games with easily over 1,000 HP.
That's why you take Overgrowth on Scion.
Just stacks so much health.
Yeah, you are just a fucking meatball, a health meatball. It's disgusting and it's fun to play. The active is the same. In the past, it was a 4-second shield. This is now a 3-second shield, and it doesn't scale nearly as hard off of AP or base damage. It scales off max health. 10 to 14% max health. You do get some base with a 40% AP ratio, and it is almost exactly the same for the pop on the shield, the recast. Except it does have a cap damage to minions and monsters at 400, and the base damage is lower. But everything else is the same, and when I say lower, you're only looking at 20 points lower, and it does deal magic damage.
Also worth to note is you can activate this shield during any of your other abilities.
Mm-hmm.
So you're charging your Q, get a shield,
Right.
throw your E out, shield. If you're ulting, shield. It's great. I like that.
Yep.
So we basically just talked about Enrage, his old E.
Right.
So he gets bonus attack damage at the cost of health per attack. Okay. Current E.
Yep.
Roar of the Slayer. I didn't realize that he yells. Interesting.
Yeah, he does. Actually, I really like this. I think he yells out of his stomach, right?
I always thought he just like punched a minion.
Oh no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it comes out of his the hole in his stomach, I think.
Okay. I mean, very straightforward. If it hits a minion, it's gonna knock that minion all the way back, and if it collides with any other units, it will slow them, and also reduces armor for 4 seconds, 20%.
It's a nice shred.
That's a good way. It's a good way to. I remember when Runes Reforged first came out, and there was when Comet was a little bit stronger. You could just take Comet and just fucking shoot that E out.
Yep.
Just poke your way through lane. Yeah.
The other thing I like with this skill is some of the other little interactions you can use, like Zillion, for example, can drop a bomb on a minion, and Scion can E through, and you can get the nice little pop there. The Senna interaction with the Senna W, you hit a minion, and Scion E's the minion to the target you want to hit to give you some extra range on that. That's a pretty gross piece of synergy there. But I just think this is a fun skill to use, though. It's kind of fun. It's like a little mini game. How many enemies can you hit with one minion, right?
Never realized it gives you, if you hit a minion, it gives you sight.
Oh yeah, I guess I never realized that either, but it makes sense. If you're gonna shoot him down a path, you can see for a little bit. It's not true sight, just regular sight.
Right. You can get some vision.
The other thing to note too is if you hit a minion, it applies its effects to anything that it's passing through. So that includes the armor shred. So that is important to note. You don't have to just hit the first enemy. You can hit a minion through your enemy to shred his armor as well. Why don't you tell me about his old ultimate?
All right, cannibalism. So 20 seconds is like, is this just like a meatball like stat ability?
Yeah.
Okay. For 20 seconds, Scion gains lifesteal, which eventually gets to 100% at rank 3. Attack speed. This doesn't tell me. 50% bonus attack speed, okay. And his basic attacks heal surrounding allies for a percentage. What the fuck?
Yep.
So it looks like they made this his passive. Except for the AoE healing for allies.
Right. Yeah, they basically like turn that back into his passive and change it a lot, but
this is the most boring fucking ult of all time.
Right. I wish they had more information on his original alpha builds.
I clicked that and I don't see anything. Just names.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't tell us what they did. You would have to go back to some patches probably and find what they did. But I do remember with this old Scion, like if you built him a certain way, and I don't remember exactly what you had to build, but he could actually, with the help of a Soraka and I believe a Nami, he could sit in the enemy fountain and never die. I wish I could remember the build, but there's a couple videos of it too. Like Scion just running the enemy fountain and just not dying because he had so much health, so much regen, and he was getting just a little bit of help from 2 healing supports.
Well, let's look at his current ult, which is way better.
Much better.
I mean, it's you hear it, and you know you gotta get the fuck out of the way.
The fucking gong, dude.
Flying down the lane. He's literally unstoppable onslaught.
Yep.
If he collides with an enemy, knocks him up, stuns them, does some damage, he can cancel it early. He can cancel it if he hits a turret. He can deal damage to turrets, which I think a lot of people. Unless it's yeah. So I mean, if you're going for the Nexus turrets, you can like stop right between them, and you can deal damage to both of them.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a great ability. I think it's just, if someone flashes in front of him, it's game over. Like,
yeah,
it's the best way to counter this.
Yep.
Let's see. Enemies, including turrets, within the slam are dealt the same damage and are slowed. Okay, I didn't really realize they were slowed if you don't hit them.
Okay, the slow is 40 to 50% for 3 seconds. Jesus, I didn't realize that either. It must be a very small radius.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's if you collide or if you stop next to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, within the slam. Okay, yeah. And enemies in a smaller radius are also pulled towards Scion. I did not know that.
I think it's a really, really fucking small radius.
If they're like standing next to the target that gets hit,
you have to be literally right next to him. But I guess it makes sense if he's like punching the ground like a big hulking meat monster that he is. You might create a ripple effect and people might fall into you.
My favorite thing is if you use this to get away, like you have to run away.
Yeah.
He'll yell "coward" and he'll just sprint away.
That's pretty good. I didn't even realize that. That's pretty good.
He'll like cowards, but then he'll be like sprinting away.
That's funny.
So what do you think? I mean, obviously was this like the first big rework they did?
It may have been. I know Scion was literally useless until they reworked him. He had no place in the game. You would find 1 or 2 people. He was like Yorick. You'd find 1 or 2 people that would play Scion and be absolutely disgusting, but realistically, he had no reason to even be in the game. I don't remember if it was the big rework. I did like what they did with the rework, though. I mean, I thought it was really cool to use, is it Jarvan the Third's crown as his
his jaw? Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And I do enjoy the sheer size of the unit in game, He's just a massive fucking meatball. And it's cool to see, though. He is... I don't know if I'd call him one of my favorite champions, but he's a well-liked champion. Like, I genuinely find him interesting. I
mean, he got reworked in 2014,
I
believe, and he's still holding up. Like, good job.
And he was one of the first 6 champions designed together with Annie, Lee Sin, Singed, Sivir, and Twisted Fate. Oh, here it says, of these, he was, however, the first and only one to receive a full relaunch after his initial release, completely remaking the original appearance and gameplay. So there you go. That was Sion the Undead Champion, and he's now Sion the Undead Juggernaut. And that he is.
Perfect. All right, yeah, so awesome. And you already know, we got to take a quick break before we talk about Sivir.
Sure do.
All right, I think this was going to be really quick. She has not changed.
Yeah, I'm still looking through some of Sion's old splash arts, and they were so bad. And they have some of the Chinese splash arts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Anyways, Sivir, she's more interesting.
Yeah, this is gonna be a couple minutes, guys. There's literally nothing has changed.
Yeah, I wish I had the time to go through and find the actual patch notes of what some of these skills used to look like or do, but I would think they're all pretty damn similar.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at, previous abilities and
Just does on the hunt. It looks like they just changed. I see the lacerate.
Yeah, there's not that much information, and aside from different names of abilities,
they look about the same. Yeah, and different icons. I mean, Spiral Blade. So Spell Shield, On the Hunt, and Ricochet all look the same in terms of the names. Her original Q, I think, was called Spiral Blade, but I think it's the same ability. If I had to guess, Boomerang Blade and Spiral Blade sound about the same. I have no idea what Lacerate did, no idea what Deadly Strikes did, and no idea what Deadeye did, because those are no longer named similarly in her kit. Everything else is similarly named.
Well, you know what? Let's just... This is going to blow your mind, because I had no idea this is what her fucking passive is.
What?
She gains movement speed when she deals damage to enemy champions.
Oh, you didn't know that?
Had no fucking idea, dude. I had no clue. I don't play this champion.
Yeah, I suck at this champion now. I used to be good when she wasn't.
Well, the champion's just terrible.
Yeah. Now she's just now that she's just a man immune user and not really an attack speed champion, she's boring.
Yeah, it's like Xayah, just
man
immune lethality, just gonna throw shit out.
Just throw Q and hit the Dark Harvest stack and you're fine.
Okay, I guess there's really not that much to talk about, guys. I mean, her ult's great. I feel like I think I might have mentioned this. I don't remember. Jesus Christ. Hold on. She has a lot of fucking skins.
Let's say I got a hot take on her ult, actually, while we're on that.
Go for it.
Hunt.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about, so.
Her ulti, and when I first started playing this game, Sivir was the first champion that I actually picked out of the store. Her ulti and understanding when and how to use it, if you are a new person in the game, it seems absolutely useless. However, when you actually learn when to help yourself or help others, it's actually pretty gross and pretty broken, right? I mean, you're getting 40 to 60% movement speed on cast, and it decays over 2 to 4 seconds depending on the level. But like sometimes it's like when I was playing, I used to play more timid. I still play pretty timid when I play ADC, just because I'm not always fully comfortable with the amount of damage I can deal. But I used to play even more timid. I remember people being like, "Why don't you use your ult?" I'm like, "Well, when the fuck am I supposed to use it? When they're chasing me down, am I supposed to use it to chase back at them? Or if we're fighting and we're sort of kiting, like, it's not really good for that. You know what I mean? It's a good for chase down. It's good for getting out, and it's good for getting somewhere. But in the middle of a fight, it's not all that great. And part of it is because of the passive that it has with Ricochet. For those of you that don't know, when she's not ulting and Ricochet is active, she gets bonus attack speed. Like it's just part of the passive. So for the 3 hits that you get out of Ricochet, you can get up to 60% bonus attack speed, and you don't have to activate the skill for that. Like that's pretty gross in and of itself. So learning when and how to use the active, I think, is probably the toughest part. And learning the spell shield is also tough too. I feel like that's a tough one to use because it can be easily baited out of you. So you have to be kind of selective on how you use it. But that's more of a chance thing because it's only up for a second and a half.
I think I can't remember when I said this. I'm pretty sure I said this sometime, but to change her ult, imagine if she got resets with the takedown or something. Like,
right.
If it just refreshed that movement speed.
That would be cool.
I mean, it's a utility-based ult anyways.
Yep.
So give it a little extra. I think that would be enough to bring her back. Maybe buff the like critical. I mean, it's identity crisis, right? Like, is she
figure out how to get this. Figure out how to get this champion out of lethality. Like, when you look at like her skills, like Ricochet and her ulti passive, like this champion is designed to attack quickly, and with the current state of the game, and the fact that she can build mana immune, that takes that whole aspect out of it, right? You're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm just a Q bot. It's just kind of like playing mid Kaisa with W. Like I'm just a bot that throws one poke attack out, and hopefully I pop you pretty hard so I can go in and annihilate you. And I feel like Sivir has a similar play style, except for her ratios are all AD and they're not AP based, where you can kind of rely on that, you know? She just, like you said, she has an identity crisis, and they need to fucking figure it out.
Maybe they rework her. I don't know. They need to.
She needs something. She's not useful. Her gameplay is pretty boring. She hasn't really seen a whole lot of changes from... I mean, her last change that she got was the AD ratio from Ricochet, and that was back in 11.16. And before that, she went 15 patches without any changes. There was a hot fix to her base mana and her boomerang blade. She had a lot of changes in season 10. Looks like they did a lot. They were trying to kind of work on her. Season 9, she had a bunch of changes as well. But lately, they haven't done shit to her, and she needs something. Like, she exists. That's about as far as I can say about her, you know?
I just feel like they're probably just going to ignore her for a while longer.
I know. They're going to give her the... was it Shyvana that they did that to for a long time, too?
It just comes down to the thing that there's almost too many champions now.
Right.
And we don't need... I'm not going to go on that spiel again, because that could take forever.
I will say I did like when they updated her splash arts.
Right.
I thought that was really interesting, although I didn't like that three of them became anime splash arts. Like, it's very distinct, and I don't have a problem with anime, but it's very distinct to style 3 skins with the same style of art, if that makes sense. Because usually they're all drastically different in terms of her look and the style. And it's just like, you look at Warrior Princess, it's a slightly different anime style, but it's definitely an anime skin. You look at Huntress, she's definitely an anime character, and you look at Bandit, and it's quite obvious. The rest of them are just regular cartoonish, and they fit more with the rest of the game splash arts. These other 3 definitely stand out because no one else has splash arts like that. But they certainly look better than her originals. Her originals were god awful.
They were.
But
yeah, that's it for Sivir.
Yeah, and the question I want to ask you guys this week is, what would you do to Sivir?
Well, hold on. Careful with what you're asking.
Sorry. What would you do to rework Sivir, I guess, is the better way to put it. But all right.
I'm 3.
Dean wants to go there.
Yeah, awesome. And I don't know anything for a poll.
I think an interesting poll is if anybody got the chance to play original Scion, because I think that's just funny.
Okay, yeah, were you able to do you remember playing original Scion?
Yeah.
Cool. Guys,
but beyond that,
that's it. Next week, Soraka and Teemo.
Ooh.
Your boy Teemo.
Ooh, I fucking hate Teemo, but he actually would be interesting to talk about. So, Soraka as well, considering she just got a little nerf and she's been reworked.
Yeah,
not completely, but she's been reworked a couple times. So that'll be a good one. And then the week after that, I think will be a long episode because there's 3 more champions in the same original area, but one of them hasn't really been changed, and the other 2 have been. So,
look forward to it. Next week, I think first episode, we're going to be talking about Talia, possibly Olaf.
Yeah. Yep.
Changes, so look forward to that. Guys, have a great weekend. I might be streaming this Saturday. Oh, we never decided if we're going to play Clash. Are you busy Saturday night? Double check.
Yeah, I need to actually double check on that because I forgot about that.
It's all good. Yeah, I mean, I've been having issues with OBS, so
okay.
If I'm streaming, I'm streaming. If I'm not, whatever. But guys, rate the videos, rate the podcast, rate everything anywhere. Send us in your questions.
Yeah.
Gungnir, thank you again for the voice question, first one. And
Watch, we're gonna get them weekly from Gungnir now. He's like,
I'm
oh, that was
about it.
cool. That was fun. I like it. And now we're gonna get weekly ones. But yeah, guys, have a great weekend. If you're playing Clash, good luck to you. If we end up playing Clash and you're playing against us, bad luck to you.
Don't ban Urgot.
Yeah, don't ban Urgot.
All right, guys. Later.
Later.